Good morning, traders. Today is Tuesday, April 15, 2025. It's 9:24 on the East Coast here, and I hope everybody got the taxes done, or today's the last day to get your taxes filed. So definitely want to keep that in mind. But before I go get into my analysis, let me just say this is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contracts or foreign exchange contracts. Trading is difficult and risky. Make sure you're well capitalized and know what you're doing. So, with that said, let me go into my yes. So let's go into the analysis real quick here. We're looking at ES and NQ, and we'll also look at LE, which is live cattle. So let's look at ES first. Good morning, Noah. Good morning. Thank you for being here, and good morning anyone else that's watching. So right now, looking at ES, could see that last night we didn't make any new high. So with the uncertainty that's going on in the market as a whole, I think we may see some more down movement today, like we saw yesterday from 9:30. So this candle here, this green candle closed at 9:30 yesterday, and from that we had a sell off. We tried to rally, but we keep going back down, and eventually we did close that gap from Sunday night. So then we couldn't make a new high. Now we're making lower highs here. So if we cannot take out 54.80, so 54.65, I would think we would probably gonna be a down day today. Look to really trade this to the downside. I think until we make some new highs here, um, I think we're looking to this market may be going lower, and we have those fair value gaps here. Which usually get tested again, and we may see that today, and then go lower. I think for me today, looking at ES, I haven't been trading ES or any of the indices much since the beginning of the month. So I've been kind of focusing on my live cattle trades, which is, could be very, very profitable if you just, like trading in general is you need patience, but live cattle you definitely need a different kind of patience because it can move slow. Also, you can just jump up and down too. But this steep trend line here got broken. Um, you know, but if I'm looking at this one, we're kind of in between trend lines here. Again, I would expect some kind of movement to the downside here today. To go back to that big fair value gap. So today I'm kind of coming into this market today. I think we're trying to see if we can sell it. One more thing. I have the YM on one of my charts. Same scenario. YM here. That was late last night. That was a pretty interesting candle. Not last night, but the night before. Pretty interesting candle there. Same thing. I think we're looking at YM is even better as far as the trend line. So we may test this trend line again and go higher. So let's look at this. This is doing like almost like it's not totally a wedge, but it's more like a triangle. And it's contracting, so eventually it's gonna break one side or the other. And this side, I think we're looking at for it to break here. Could be to the downside. It's 9:28. So let's look at the live cattle, which hasn't opened yet, because live cattle trades from 9:30 Eastern until 2:05 Eastern. So it definitely looks like we're pushing higher, but I'd definitely be careful with this resistance area here. This resistance area this is where live cattle is. So we hit that one time. We hit the second time. Now we're hitting it the third time. Will the third time will be the charm to go higher? The thing is, even if we go higher, we're gonna have a big fair value gap here. So to me, live cattle at the moment could be one of those things we're trying to sell today as well. There's a trend line down here. There's a trend line for live cattle that's here. And essentially we have, we got like a triangle here. There you go. So live cattle just open. We're right at resistance. Market just open here. So we're not going to take a trade right away, but we're going to observe and see what the market give us. So this is where we are right now as far as trading, See if we can break this and close above it. Honestly, today we will be a little more patient with live cattle. Yesterday we kind of jumped the gun. I mean, we were up quite a bit. I think most importantly with live cattle, 10, 15 ticks, we're going to be moving to break even with that. We can always come back in. So let's see here what we're doing with ES is on the top right. That's the 3-minute ES chart. It looks like we're pushing down right now. We're looking at everything as far as the market internals here. They're all red on ES. I'm sure the same thing's happening at NQ. So live cattle, we're going to be careful here with it. We're at that resistance level. I think we have a chance to short this. Let me look over here. So let's look and wait and see what will happen here. Let me know what you guys are trading, anything that's happening on your side. So we're going to be looking at live cattle and see what we get today. Again, because we're at a resistance, we would favor the sell right here on live cattle. So let's see if we can move away from the VWAP to the downside and then come back and test it and go lower. So that would be the ideal scenario here on live cattle. Okay, looks like the equities are pushing higher at the moment. First couple of minutes of the market, definitely nothing to do right now as far as decisions. Usually you want to wait at least 5 minutes for the equity, very least. I mean, there's different school of thoughts out there that says 15, 20. Some people wait a whole hour to see the initial balance form. So again, I'm not trusting this move up on the equities here with the market internals going lower. So I think, we'll see what happens here. We're looking at GC here. I want to look at LE. Let's look at LE on here again. We're gonna, that was to be expected right here. We might see a fight in this zone. So let's see which side's gonna win, and we'll jump on that side. So again, LE, we still. Is the push down here. That's why I didn't trust to move up on the ES here because we got initial balance. We're going into resistance area. And if we go to the 30 minutes, the bottom right here. So what we did, we went and kind of puncture this trend line. So anyway, market is very early to decide which way we want to trade here. Coming in, we say, hey, we know we probably bias is to the downside, but that doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen. I'm looking at the advanced decline from another screen here. We're looking at same kind of reflecting the price action of the ES here, kind of back and forth as well. Okay, we're looking at the LE on the bottom left, which is my order flow chart. We're seeing some aggressive buying happening here in LE. So got an 81 contract up there. Now, if this closes down, closes down, right? We gotta close down here. That could be a sign that we got some trap buyers up here. And going lower here could be the move, which is at 199.25. 199.25. We can definitely look at going short here. Let's see if we can get that. Because this would be like trying to retest this high and we fail. Okay, it looks like they're going back to that level where we had this big we're gonna go to 30. Let's see if we can get to 30 here. And our stop today will be a little tighter. I mean, we have an emergency stop usually at 21 ticks. But, yeah. All right, so we're going to cancel this order here. So it looks like LE wants to go higher. We're above that zone. Yes, as you can see, is ranging back and forth. First candle was the bullish one, bearish, bullish. So it's fighting between these two zones here. Now we're above VWAP, so meaning we could favor the long at some point here if we can break above 63. 54.63. All right. So let's look at what technically we're here. We're still kind of in the uptrend on live cattle. Hopefully we can come back and give us another pullback and maybe try to go long. But We're pushing higher in the equities here. Definitely pushing higher here on ES. Yeah, we can see that reflecting the advanced decline going higher here. Let me move this over here for a second. Did I just? Oh, there you go. All right, got lost in transporting here. As you can see, the advanced decline got lower this morning, open lower than it was yesterday, and then now we're pushing higher in the equities. We're pushing higher in the ES. The advanced decline is showing that now. Looks like here with LE, yeah, the buyers definitely are really taking over here. So what we're looking for here on LE is a pullback. We can't go at this resistance. That dotted blue line is resistance. I wouldn't want to be buying here. I would want to see a pullback, toward 199.50, and then we can go from there. 199.50 at least. Come back and tap the top of this. Definitely ES is pushing higher. I'm sure NQ is doing the same thing. Let's go in NQ. Yeah, NQ is going higher as well. So we really need to see the pullback on the LE here to engage. And another thing that I used to trade back in the day was soybeans, ZS. I have a chart of it right here. It looks like they're grinding, they're moving lower. So that's something we may take a stab at. Right now we're moving low on ZS. Let's look at the big picture on ZS here, which is soybeans. Yeah, looks like we hit this top of this fair value gap. We go. So right now we're just gonna be patient. LE, we're gonna wait. We're waiting for a pullback, possibly to go long. So let's see if we're gonna get that pullback. If you're trading the equities right now, definitely the long side seems to be the way to go. But again, wait for pullbacks to get in, because a lot of times it's not so much the direction. The direction is definitely important. Like it's a nice break to the upside here. But a lot of times you just gotta wait for that pullback so you can get a better entry, and the pullback will be behind you, because market doesn't move in a straight line. Go ups and down, ups and down. Especially when the market is going higher. So it take like take the stairs. Like this is the bulls take the stairs. The bears jump out of the window. So the market's going down. Usually it goes down much faster than going higher. So that's why we're gonna be careful. We're gonna be patient here with LE and wait for a couple negative bars and a turn and a U-turn, and then we can start engaging long. We can think about engaging long. Ellie doesn't seem to wanna give us any, give us a chance here to go. Like I said, we haven't been trading the equities at all. What I'd like to see on YM, which is I have down here in the middle, if I could see a pullback toward VWAP and a bounce higher, we may take that. We may take that trade. Yeah. Is yes gonna be the trade we take here to the short side? No, no. Just gotta wait. A lot of time in trading. Most of the time, actually, we should be waiting, not trading. As a matter of fact, I heard it said, we are not traders. We are waiters. We're waiting on the market to give us optimal setup. Now we're looking at early in the top part of the chart here, top middle, top left, and bottom left. We're looking at, we want to pull back, to engage long. We don't want to we don't want to go long here because this thing can go all the way back and retest the low of the day, and then go higher or come back in that band. That was resistance. Now that resistance been broken. If you guys remember, I put that zone here this morning as we were looking at this together. Yeah, definitely. This is showing like we want to go higher. We want to break this resistance. This was resistance here. This was resistance here. What day was this? This was the knife, which was I believe the knife was Wednesday. So, and then we had a one bearish day based on this resistance. Friday was bullish, and yesterday was bullish. So we may get a third bullish day here in a row, but I'd like to see a pullback before we engage here. One of my mentors used to call it. I've seen other people call it sin, but this is the first time I heard from him where it break. The market breaks, hook, and go. So if it does that, if it does that, I'll feel more comfortable with with a long here on LE. ES is at a resistance level. Definitely, I'd be careful here on ES. And also, we're having lots of selling here as far as like we're seeing some green coming into the market internals here. So I think the buyers are making some ground here. So now let's focus again. Our focus the last couple of weeks almost been LE. So that's a market we would like to trade here. See if we can get a pullback to that zone and come out of it. So please let me know in the chat, what are you trading? How things are going for you? Have you taken any position? Okay, it looks like ES is pushing higher. Yeah. This chart on the top left is again is soybeans. Um, it's a market that can be slow as well, but I think soybeans right now might be in the planting season, meaning you know usually during the planting season for soybeans, you have the market tend to be bullish, and in the fall, that's when they harvest, and that's usually got an abundance of supply. Now LE is going lower here. Remember, we wanted a pullback for LE for us to engage long. So let's see if that's going to be an opportunity to engage long here on LE. We said we'd like it to come back to 199.50 at least. If you come back from 199.50, give us a bullish candle in the Uniranko here. We may wanna. Now the VWAP is 199.57, 57.5. That area here, that could be an area that we go long, but we're not gonna be. Sometimes what we see is what I call a double pullback, where it goes down one. Oh, there you go. What was I doing here? It's a line. So we go. Okay. It goes down this way, goes back up, and come back down in this area, and then go higher. So we may get another bar to the upside here, then another, couple bars to the downside. Then if we go higher, then we know not for sure. There's nothing that's guaranteed in trading. That's another thing, because sometimes we come with a mindset where everything we think, this is guaranteed. There's no guarantee in trading, as if in life. But we can see right now the sellers are getting aggressive. Sellers are getting aggressive, and it's one of the reasons that the market is pushing lower. So is it a temporary push, or is it a complete reversal? I would definitely bet it's a temporary push to the downside here. Come back into that zone. Let some people in that missed that move higher. And give us an opportunity to be long here. And again, we're about to hit that VWAP, so we definitely may see a reaction to the upside here. Again, the aggressors right now are the sellers. The sellers are the aggressors. So just wait and see how things go here. The cumulative delta is still, still positive, but definitely this bar that's forming right now, you can see the sellers are really trying to push it down here. Like 199.85 could be an entry here, but I'd rather see a deeper pullback here before we engage long. But we may not get a deeper pullback, because that's the thing. Sometimes when the market is it wants really to head one way, the pullbacks will be a little less pronounced. Um, like a shallow pullback sometimes could just be a sign of strength or weakness based on which way it's going. If it's going higher, it will be a sign of strength. If it's going lower, the market's going lower, the shallow pullbacks will be a sign of weakness. There's going to be a lot of weakness in this market. So right now, again, the equity is here. They are the resistance. I would definitely want to be careful going long here. We're seeing a lot of, again, the ADD is kind of turning to the downside too. That's another reason the ES here. At least the ADD is pausing. I wouldn't say turning to the downside, but it's definitely pausing right now. Kind of topping off a little bit. Okay. Let's wait and see here. Now we can see there was some heavy selling at that level here at 99.60. This is a tick above the VWAP. Will this be one of those situations where they just turn it around here, get some people trapped? And also, when I look at when you look at this was resistance right here. This line here, this was resistance. Now, will it serve as support? That's all those questions we gotta ask ourselves before we get engaged here. I still believe that we may come back to this band here and turn around to the upside. Then I'll be more eager to try to go along at 85. 85 would be the conservative entry. So maybe move this so we can see this a little clearer. There you go. See, this is a nice push higher here. It's already at 90. It's 9:58. 2 minutes to. It's 2 minutes to the top of the hour here. There you go. I think we kind of missed that 85 entry right here. Again, could this be a test of the high to go lower? Can't go long here anymore. I wouldn't anyway. I think we can come back and test VWAP again. We've seen this before where they come back and test VWAP 2 or 3 times. So next resistance on live cattle is at 200.45. Once again, we did say yes, here was at a resistance, and it looks like they're trying to sell it here. At least we can come back and test this VWAP and bounce higher on ES. Volatility definitely been much, much higher lately on so remember we did say we'd like to see maybe a pullback here to the VWAP on the YM. Again, that's another market I used to, instead of NQ or ES, I used to trade the YM because it's a little less, crazy than NQ, and sometimes I can be trading 3 or 4 contracts on YM instead of one on NQ, because NQ is so volatile. So usually it's about 3 to 4 contracts. YM moves 20 points, NQ move 100. It's like 80 to 100. So it's something to keep in mind, because the volatility, you have to adjust with this volatility that we're experiencing right now in the indices, especially, because you can't be trading the same amount of contracts you used to trade when the market was slower. You have to adjust. You have to adapt, and that's the life of a trader. I think that's life in general. You gotta adjust and adapt to the new environment. Other than that, otherwise you may not be able to survive. So let's see if we can see another test here of the VWAP. That would be great if we could see that. That would give us an opportunity to enter the market long. Okay, looks like the market's turning around a little bit here on LE. Once again, ideally, would like to see a pullback to VWAP and a turnaround. Guess we may not get that pullback to the VWAP after all. Let's see. Let's look at soybeans here. Soybeans going lower still. Also, when you're trading a market that's less volatile, What you get to do, you get to trade again bigger contract, bigger size. You know, I can get away with a tick stop on soybeans, but if you try to trade NQ on an 8 tick stop, you really pushing it. You know, so yeah, looks like we're moving higher here on LE. Yeah, just don't fully trust it yet because again, come back to the view up here is possible still. Hmm. Just made a no high on LE. It's pushing higher here. Entry 85 here was definitely a good entry. They're up about 18 ticks right now. But we can't trade in hindsight. We gotta trade at the edge, at the right edge of the market. At the market, sometimes I look at is gold. Um, let's see what gold is doing right now. Looks like so from yesterday morning, really gold's kind of going higher, but we're hitting some resistance here. We got some support here at the same time. So here, well, LE is pushing higher here. Now we're approaching another resistance area here at 2045. I mean 200.45. So something to keep in mind here. Yeah, we're hitting that level. Also, we're gonna see some selling here, possibly. It could, you know, we could definitely see some selling in this area. Well, there was some heavy buying on the top of the candle. Now, when you see this heavy buying like this on top of the candle and the candle still going lower, to me, that just a sign, that was pushed higher to get and do some buying. And they're trying to bring this thing back down here. at least for the moment. So just wait and wait here. Okay, things selling here again. Uh, Visit if they can revisit the VWAP here and see how it reacts from there. Then you know that would be a place that I'd like to see if we can go along there. But yeah. So that green line definitely showed some resistance here. That was a projected resistance. That was one of projected resistance areas. So let's see if we can get back down here to maybe 199.80 area and see how it reacts from there. Because remember that blue line 199.80 was resistance at some point. Now it may serve as support. If you come to this area and bounce again, then we might be in position to be buying it here on the VWAP. I used to be really like limit orders, but as I mature as a trader, I realized that limit orders are fine. You can get a better price than if you were to do a stop order, but also the stop order helps you sidestep a lot of losses. Like earlier, remember I wanted to go short here. I think it was right around here. I wanted to go short, but he never actually closed short. So I wanted it to close as a bearish candle, but it never did. So then I was able to sidestep that loss. If I just went market order, that would have been a loss. So that's what I like with stop orders. You're getting a little later, but at the same time, it's a safer entry in the sense that you're gonna sidestep some losing trades, which is very very important in trading. It's not so much the winners; it's to also important to avoid losers. So now we're getting some momentum to the downside here. Get to 90. I wanted to get to about 80. All right, we're approaching that view up. Let's see. Let's see if we can get back in here. Okay. My preference was for it to go to the VWAP, which we may still do here. Give me that double pullback around the VWAP and then feel more comfortable buying here. So it's 10:17. Still really early. Not even an hour has gone by yet since the market opened. So if we could come back to the VWAP and give me a U-turn, then I'll feel more comfortable buying. See, this is why you don't jump in this market. Look at this. This is, also this could be just a big turnaround too. So the equities market are selling off. Probably has some divergence up here. There you go. So we have the view up here. So it'd be 200 would be my entry. I don't know if I like that per se. Okay, let's see if we can put an entry here at 200. It's like right on the round number. Equities are selling off. Definitely, if you are trading equities, shorts definitely looks like that's the way to go. Coming into this market, we say, hey, gonna favor some short on the equity. That's what they did here. They went higher. Got some people long past this resistance level. So if I put a blue line here, gonna see this was a high. I think they may even did they get to the high? No, they didn't make it to the high. So they hit this resistance area. Now they come back. It's a nice combination between this area as the VWAP where we're trading right now is also supposed to be support because this was resistance at some point, and they hit this already. They kind of broke it and turn around. I think the next zone here could be 2110. Sorry, not 2110. 20110. Heavy selling going on there. I wonder if there's any news. Let me check. So this market is very, very news driven nowadays. I mean, the market always responded to news, but now you know, it's uh, it's very, very news driven. That's why it's so hard to trade the equities because you can have the best setup, but notice that this market internals is like showing you what the institutions are doing as far as the big boys. So as you can see, they've been selling. There was a sliver of buying here, but they were setting up for the market to go down, to go lower here. Um, if we go past this VWAP here, we may just cancel the order. You know, Hey, today could be one of the stream we don't take any trades. We don't have to take any trades. That's another thing. That's another myth that traders and even I fell victim to that. I'm not immune to that. Sometimes we feel like we need to take a trade. We have to trade, and it's not always the case. As long as we don't go past below this zone, I think I'm still gonna be staying bullish here. If we go past this zone, that's it. That'll be a different story. This brown zone here we have between 199.50 and 199. Basically 199. Yeah, stuck between 199.50 and the low of the day. If we don't pass that, I still wanna mind going long here. If we're going lower, I'll just adjust my order based on what we're doing here. B95. Right. So we're gonna adjust order to 85 and see, you know. There's some heavy selling happening here. Nice. Let's see if we can, if we get long here, we're gonna move our stop. We're gonna put a tighter stop than normal. Let's see. Oh, good morning, Jimmy. Definitely being hip today. I mean, especially in the equities, which when I came in, I'm like, equities here, we bearish on it today. And what they did the first half an hour, like they usually do, they give you that fake move to the upside, and now they're pushing it lower. So let's see what Ellie is gonna do here. If we get, again, as long as we stay above, we stay in that zone here. We don't go lower. I'm still trying to buy it, but yeah, at the same time here, I'm looking at this market. $40. Yeah, it's just been kind of ranging into, let's see, 34. It's really like a 13 tick range. We got long. Let's see if we can. Again, instead of the 21 tick, we're gonna move. We're gonna tie enough stuff here. Maybe below the low of the day. We're not gonna give it. Yeah, we're gonna give it 15 ticks here. If we get above VWAP here, we'll probably move us up to break even. Yesterday, one of the lessons, and I was up 15 ticks and end up being 15 or 16 tick loss. So we're not gonna have that happen today here. If we push higher here, we're gonna move with the market. So we go up 6 ticks, 3 ticks. Yeah, it could be one of those situations that we move our stop a little much tighter, much sooner here. Let's see. Let me turn my stuff here at '07. Once again, if we make a no low here, probably don't want to be in this trade anymore. If we were here at the beginning, once we establish that on the 30-minute, that's where we get this band from for LE, because this was resistance. This was resistance, and we know if we break that, if we come back to here and go higher, yeah, it looks like we're pushing higher at the moment. We're up 10 ticks. We definitely at this point could move to break even, but what we'll do is, we're gonna move to break even here because we're trading 3 contracts, and if this come back and tag us out, we can always re-enter. We're up 12 ticks, so we're at break even at the moment, and that could be a one and done trade for the day. That could be a one and done trade if we were to get to a target here. Now we are pushing VWAP. That could serve as a resistance. But if we blow through a VWAP here, that's a good chance that we're going to get to a target, which is essentially close to the high of the day. At least we know this trade will not be a loser. Just got to pay the commissions on it. I used to do break even +1 all the time, but I find that 1 tick sometimes is not worth it. ES and NQ. ES and the equities. I'm assuming NQ is doing the same thing. They're bouncing higher now. Got to VWAP, pass VWAP a little bit. Get some people short maybe here. Now they're moving higher. Gotta get off this stream by 11 anyway, so either way here, that could be my one and done trade, at least for the stream. So it'd be nice if we push higher here. When I'm looking at this candle here on the bottom left, 37.5 is like a point of control for this candle that could serve as support. But if they go 1 tick lower, they're gonna tag me out. So let's find out here if we're gonna push higher or lower. Now, I guess some aggressive selling here at 91. There was 91 contracts at 60. Let's see if the buyers will step back in here and push this baby higher. There you go. Let's see if the patience will pay off today, because we are very patient to wait for an entry here long. Um, Now, in hindsight, you can look, hey, yeah, definitely. We once the market opened, we knew this was going to be resistance. I mean, we knew this was going to be resistance because, hey, why didn't it sell there? Because really, we wanted to. This market looks like it wants to go higher, so we waited for the pullback instead. Now, once again, here we're 3 ticks away from being taken out. If that's the case, I'm gonna end the stream because I gotta, like I said, at 11 o'clock, I gotta end this by 11 o'clock. So we got 1 tick away. Let's see here if we can, if we make a new high here, we have a chance to go higher. But this back and forth here, we got 2 ticks away. Doesn't look too good at the moment. I was seeing the point of control just went higher, but it's a very low volume right now. It's only 23 contracts traded on here for now. So let's see. Yeah, most likely here will be taken out. And if that's the case, we'll call it a day. 37. Yeah, we got taken out here. I think one of them was 35 and the other one was, so we lost $20 on here. That's fine. That's totally fine with us. All right. With that said, guys, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna end the stream. Hopefully we find. Let's see. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Hopefully it looks like LE wants to go lower. So we are done for the day. Oh, thank you, Jermaine, and thank you, Noah. You're welcome. Have a good day. I think we still may go higher here, and that said, we're gonna go. Yes, we will end the stream here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Take care. Bye bye. God bless. See you guys tomorrow morning.